Hello, my name is Qasim Hassan and welcome to the very first and important AWS service, that is Identity Access Management. IAM stands for Identity Access Management, and it is a global service because we use IAM to create users and groups. When we create an AWS account, root account is created by default. And according to the AWS best services, root account shouldn't be used or shared except to create IAM users or group of users if it makes sense. Generally, user represents a single person within an organization and that can be grouped. Let's say we have Qasim, Raza, Munib, Jawad, Mohsin, and Saad are working in an organization. Qasim, Raza, and Munib are data engineers, so they are grouped together as data engineers. While Jawad and Mohsin are machine learning engineers, so they are grouped together as ML team. In AWS IAM groups, there is a key point that groups only contain users, not other groups. Users don't have to belong to a group. Let's say we have Saad who doesn't belong to any group. And user can belong to a multiple groups. Let's say Munib and Jawad are working as an audit team member in an organization too. Summing up this all, why we are creating users and groups? The simple answer is that because we want to give them the access of our AWS account. To give them access, we need to give them permissions. Users or groups can assign to a JSON document called policies. And through that policies, we give them permissions to the respective services of AWS. Let's say this is the simple JSON document in which we are giving the access of EC2, Elastic Load Balancing, and CloudWatch. Don't worry about these all services. These are all the AWS services. There is a key point. AWS have some best practices. And to give them permission, we should use the least privilege principle. Means don't give more permissions than a user need. Let's talk about policy inheritance. Single user can have a single inline policy. Let's say Saad have a single inline policy. And group of data engineers, ML team, and audit team can have their respective policies inherited from their respective groups. The advantage of creating groups is that we don't need to create a policy for single user. We can simply create a policy and apply that policy to our groups, and through that groups, policy can be inherited or transferred to the users that are belong to that particular groups. Let's talk about roles. In AWS, there are some services that need to perform actions on your behalf. To do so, we will assign permissions to AWS services with IAM role. Common roles are EC2 instance role, Lambda function roles, and role for cloud formations. Let's have a short summary. We have seen IAM that is used for access management of users and groups. Users are nothing but a physical person working in an organization, and groups are nothing but a group of persons that need a similar policy or permission. Policies are the JSON documents that outlines permissions for users or groups, while roles are the AWS services permissions through which we will give the permission to the AWS service. That's it. Thank you.